Welcome back. We're going to be looking at part 2 of 4 in getting started on smart music. And in video 1, if you missed it, it'll be linked below. We're going to talk about, in this video, how to assign things to students. And the first thing I'm going to start with, actually, it's a quick review / adding to. So I'm going to come into, here's our class that I made last video. I'm going to click assignments. Okay, sorry, there's no assignments. That's okay. There will be by the end of this video. Class settings and tools. And we touched on these last video. So grading scale, we have below, a grading calendar, a method book. So it's going to give me this little blue plus to add a book for our students. I could choose to assign the same thing since this is my beginning students. If I didn't like that book, or maybe we start in that book, we outgrow it, or I want to change something, I can click reset and I can choose any one of their method books. And that's just going to be that it's a regular resource that appears on the student dashboard for them to use. So now I've assigned a book, and I can pick assignments out of this book to give to the students, but also just makes it sort of a readily available booklet for the kids to click on in one click. The other cool feature from this area is awards. And especially, you know, with some younger kids or some kids who kind of want to brag, we can apply awards to their interaction with smart music. So discipline, for example, they have played or recorded something one time over 3 weeks, or maybe we're looking for 10 times or 100 times. We can go ahead and fill that in. So if they do that multiple times over the past time limit. Discovery, meaning that they went in and they looked through the music library on their own and just clicked on things to play. And if they do that even one time, that's pretty cool. So that's cool because they're just inquisitive, right? They're looking on their own. And so this will give them an award for looking at something they don't know. And then consistency. This is one I think that is cool to assign to the students. How many, maybe one time a day, but we want to do it 3 days in a row, or 5 times in a row, or what's the max I can do? 3 months in a row. That'd be amazing. Like every day for 3 months. They'd be rock stars. So we can actually assign this, and then it'll give them a little merit badge when they complete that goal, which a lot of kids are kind of excited about. So something to think about. And that's all in that class tools. So now I'm going to go back to home. So now that we're here, we're going to assign music to our students. And I'm going to talk real quick about how to search for content. So if you know that song is on smart music, you can type it right into here. If you don't know what's on here and you just want to look, well, here's some area of exercise that we can spend time in. We can look specifically for sight reading challenges, for exercises for our kids, for small ensembles. A lot of our repertoire is going to be featured here in this band and orchestra, if that's the subject we're doing. If you're teaching choir, your stuff's down here, obviously. And when you click that, it's going to bring you to this beautiful 280-page library. Now, that's 280 pages because we have jazz and orchestra in there. Everybody's in there. But it is just going to give it to you like this in an alphabetized by song title. And you can do it by composer, by publisher. You can look by any of these at the top. So you're like, I don't know, but I want a really cool piece by John Cage. All right, will you be able to type in Cage, as we see here, and, you know, his jam and song will pop up. If you just want to explore the library, this is a great way to do that. It's very time consuming, I'll pre-warn you. Here's concert band, which is what we're going to be interacting with, and I can begin my quest to look for songs we've played before. Great. And then if I was looking for any other things, we have sort of categories going on over here on the side. So this will help us break it down so it's less to look at, because even me switching to just concert band, 168 pages. Let's see, I'm looking for concert band. I'd like to also add a genre because it's that time of season, so holidays we are, right? Now I'm looking at concert band holiday pieces. And you can look at anything. These ones that are on concert and contest tend to come out of JW Pepper, that they're on those approved lists. Right, so now I'm looking at concert band as well as I'm looking for holiday and patriotic. So we can sort of break down that list further to look for things. Now I'd like to look by a certain instrument type, and when the kids can sort of see a dashboard that looks like this as well, they actually can like click their instrument and then find things relating to just their instrument, which is great for that exploring tool. We can also look by difficulty. So say I want a holiday piece and I want it for concert band and I want it to be medium easy. Then we'll notice all of these have a yellow dot now, meaning sort of medium easy, getting harder, and it also sort of weeded out some of the pieces. Now I only have 3 pages to flip through, which is much more exciting, but maybe I want to pick anything that falls in these 3 categories, I can also go ahead and do that. And I'm going to pick a piece called Crosswinds, because I know my students would be performing that anyways this year, and I'm going to go and click on that. Now, it's going to give you an overview, as you see here. So this tells us what instruments are in this piece. Now, if you were to pick a piece in the screen before to look at it, in the overview, it will show you this as well. And you can click on it to look at individual parts and things as well, too. So this would be like as if I search at Crosswinds in the library, and this would be what you found if you clicked on a piece. It'll give you all this sort of copyright information relating to it. Details is in that. Movements is for if it's a multi-movement piece. So let's say you're doing whole second suite and you only want to do a song without words, you would see that as number 2 in here to click on to assign. Click open. What's going to happen is we're going to see filter movement by instrument. So maybe I just want to see my trumpet ones can handle it. And then I click open. So now that we're loaded, we're looking at what the student's parts would look like. And this is kind of the way that their interface works too, to give us an idea. There's a accompaniment up here at the top, and I have it muted at the moment. I can pull this volume up, I can unmute it. This is going to be the background of the band. So they'll get to hear everybody else's parts that are featured in the score. My part, obviously that's going to be me playing trumpet 1. I can choose to mute it, I can choose to listen to it. And we can have a metronome going in the background. It can be on the entire time, or not. We can also choose what we want subdivisions. Let's say I want the whole thing. I want to have my metronome. I want to hear my trumpet 1 part, as well as the rest of the band. And I'm going to push play. This should pick up okay. Cool. And maybe they're like, okay, I want to make sure that I play this correctly and I'm not hiding behind the band when I play. Choose to turn accompaniment all the way down or mute it. Maybe just make it softer and make my part nice and loud. This is turned on. So they have a little bit more context to put it in, as though they had a neighbor sitting next to them. They're also going to have the option for these tools here at the top. So a count off, and then they have a tuner that'll come up on screen, and then we can adjust the tempo. So I can click it down if they want it to go a little bit slower to work on a practice, and the students can eventually bump it up. When I get into the full part of assignments, you'll see what I mean.